Okay, let's start with it. So last week we were discussing about this technology like output devices, and under that we discussed about screen and then hard copy printouts. We discussed about the printer, and so we couldn't write the note. Actually, we couldn't write the comparison based note today. So I'm focusing more on writing the note. Right. The first thing is primary output device, as you know, that is visual display unit. There are three types of visual display unit. We use three technologies actually. So not three types, there are three technologies behind that. So mainly, but there are more other than these two technology, these three technology, there is another technology called TFT, thin film transistor, which is not mentioned here. And there is another technology called plasma displays, again, that is also not displayed here. But those are also some other technologies, TFT, plasma. So just find. So this I'm going to give this as an activity. Find about TFT, thin film transistor, and plasma displays. For your examinations, you will not get questions from those areas, but basically you'll get questions from these three technologies: CRT, cathode ray tube, liquid crystal display, and light emitting diode, which is the current technology is mostly light emitting diode, LED, because LED can be placed indoor or outdoor. It can even be used for large screens, gigantic screens. So this road displays. So I think you have seen these LED grids, LED boards, LED board. So these LED boards or LED screens, LED TVs, LED walls, right? So these are everywhere now. So it is one of the most popular. Here, this is again LED board, LED name boards, right? This is one of the most popular technology because so it is very easy to repair this. Even so, when some bulbs damage, you have to replace the bulbs. That's all. So that is not that much costly. You can replace individual bulbs. So that is an advantage of this technology, and it is also used in indoor, outdoor, because the brightness is enough to display something in outdoor environment. But LCD is not that much bright. LCD wala brightness එක නැහැ එච්චර. හින්දා outdoor වලට එච්චර හොඳ නැහැ. But LED is good for outdoor displays, and also the maintenance cost and operations cost is very, very low, and also it consumes very less power. So this is LED walls. So that is also there, LED walls. Right here, you can see these are LED walls. So LED backdrops, LED walls, and LED like wall in building, outside a building. So it is possible to have this kind of LED walls. You can see these are really popular in some countries like China, Switzerland. So these countries. So here you can see these are very large screens, large LED grids, LED boards, LED TVs. Here another example. So this is one of the most popular technology nowadays because of the flexibility, low cost, maintainability. But let's learn about the technology. So I think you can remember we discussed this, but I'm just going to recall the things that we have discussed. CRT. So what is the CRT monitor technology? CRT uses phospholuminescent, or so you can say phosphor layer simply, or you can say this fluorescent screen. So sometimes called fluorescent screen. So mostly it's easy to recognize as a phosphor layer. So which is illuminating when this electronic beam is projected to a pixel in the phosphor screen. Phosphor screen එකේ තියෙන dot එකකට මේ phosphor dot එකකට electron beam එකක් තද electron ප්‍රවාහයක් එවනවා. electron beam එකක් එවනවා. ඒක වැදුනම මේ phosphor layer එක light වෙනවා. දිලිසෙන්න ගන්නවා. So actually in this display this phosphor screen or this illumination is used to give the output. Actually, earlier days, this was only black and white. So maybe the white layer, different levels of white were there, like bright white or light white or gray or dark gray, average gray, likewise different, that is called gray scale, white to black, different colors between the black and white, gray colors between black and white, we call gray scale. Earlier days, displays were only focusing about that, only focusing about black and white, but later, so in this kind of displays, RGB, red, green, blue beam is used. RGB, LED, so this electron beam was like able to illuminate RGB pixel, red, green, blue pixel. So that is in the later part. So initially it was only a phosphor layer and black and white. Later it became color. But you need to understand one thing related to this electron beam and the monitor. So you can see this is a spot. What will happen when you are lighting up this? Actually, this happens like this. Starting from this corner to this corner, it will light up, right? One by one spot by one spot, one pixel by pixel. Then come into the beginning, next line. Come into the beginning, next line. And again, come to the beginning, left to right, next line. Come to the beginning, next line, left to right. So likewise, it will go through the entire screen, covering all the pixels. It will go through the entire screen, covering all the pixels. So can anyone tell me approximately how many pixels are there in the screen? Approximately how many pixels are there in the screen? Yes? Approximate figure. How many pixels are there in your screen? Come on, Pute, you should be able to tell this. This is not hard. Pixel means smallest unit in the screen. How many such units will be there? Yes? How many pixels will be there in the screen? Akila? Metsari?
1600 pixel.
Entire screen? So horizontally it can be 1600. So here see, this is called screen resolution, right? Screen resolution. See my screen resolution. So my screen resolution, according to this, I have 1440 horizontal pixels, 1440 and 900 vertical pixels. Altogether, 1440 to 900 is closer to 1 million, right? So if I calculate, thousand 440 into 900 means like 1.2 million, closer to 1.3 million pixels. So this number of pixels are there in the screen. In your case, it may be vary. ඔයගොල්ලන්ගේ screen එකේ තව වැඩි වෙන්න පුළුවන්, අඩු වෙන්නත් පුළුවන්. Resolution කියලා කියන්නේ. We call this resolution. Number of vertical into horizontal pixels. Actually, this beam will light up only one pixel at a time. මේ beam එකකින් පුළුවන් එක pixel එක illuminate කරන්න normally. එතකොට යා ඒ පළවෙනි pixel එක on කරලා ඒක නිවලා තමයි දෙවෙනි pixel එක පත්තු කරන්නේ. But it will first turn on the first pixel, then it go to the second pixel after turning off the first pixel. Then the third pixel, second will turn off. Then the fourth pixel, third will turn off. Likewise, each time it will light up only one pixel. But we can see the entire screen is turned on. Why? What's the reason? Even though
because in that lighting up, it is very speed.
It is very fast. Actually, this happens how many times? All 1 million pixels, let's say 1 million pixels, all 1 million pixel will light up 60 times per second. Right? ඒකත් වෙනවා, ඒ කියන්නේ ඒ මිලියනයක් තියෙනවනේ පික්සල්, මිලියනයක් විතර තියෙනවනේ. ඒ මිලියනේම on වෙලා off වෙනවා. හරි, මිලියනේම on වෙලා off වෙනවා තප්පරයකට 60 වතාවක්. එතකොට මිලියන 60ක් වගේ පත්තු වෙනවා. මිලියන 60ක් වගේ මේ beam එක focus කරනවා. මිලියන 60ක් වගේ spots focus කරන තප්පරයකට. තප්පරයකට සාමාන්‍ය 50 වතාවක් 60 වතාවක්. 50 times 60 times per second it will turn on and off. So you can't recognize, actually your eye cannot recognize that. The reason is when a preview is placed in the eye, when it is focused into your eye, so your eye will keep it for some time until it understands. It is understood by the memory brain. So it will be kept in the eye. It will not be erased. So if you look at sun or if you look at a light source and close your eyes suddenly, you can feel that light source for some time. Torch එකක් දිහා බලලා ඇස් දෙක පියාගන්න. නැත්නම් ටක් ගාලා ඉර දිහා බලලා ඇස් දෙක පියාගන්න. මේක. එතකොට ටික වෙලාවක් යනකම් අර එළිය තියෙනවා එහෙම. So why? So similar to that, මොකක් හරි object එකක් දිහා බලලා ඇස් දෙක පියාගන්න. ඔය monitor එක දිහා බලලා හරි phone එක දිහා බලලා ටක් ගාලා ඇස් දෙක පියාගන්න. ටිකක් වෙලා යනකම් අර phone එක තියෙනවා එහෙම. So the preview or this image will be there for not for seconds, but fraction of a second it will be there. තප්පර දශම ගානක් ඇහි තියෙනවා. තප්පර දශම ගානක් වෙන්නේ. නිකන් අර ඇහිපිය හෙලන මොහොතක් වෙනකන් වගේ තියෙනවා. It will be there. Therefore, this happens very large number of times, as I said, 60 times per second. So, therefore, you can't feel that only one pixel is lighting up per time. And it is also not possible to lighten up all the pixels. Then you need closer to 1 million electronic beams. To have 1 million electronic beams, how many power sources you need? So what is the power consumption of your monitor will be very, very heavy. If you are going to lighten up each and every pixel using electronic beam, so that is a heavy work. ලොකු power එකක් ඕන. ඒ වගේම monitor එකත් නිකන් හරියට home cinema එකක් තරම් ලොකුයි. අයි මේකට power දෙන්න wire දාන්නයි ඔක්කොම කරන්නේ. Therefore, we are not doing that. We are refreshing the monitor, and higher the refreshing rate, higher the quality of the image. So here you can see 60 hertz refreshing rate with let's say versus 240 hertz refreshing rate. Let's see. So especially in the gaming, this is very important. You can see if it is 60 hertz, you can see the image blur in a blurred way. But if it is like 240, you can see it is 140 here, 144. You can see when you take a snapshot, you can see that without blurry effect. Blur වෙන්නේ නැතුවට පේනවා මෙන්න මේවා. You can see this one and this one. So it is high quality, more sharpness, and high speed visuals. You can see it's very smooth. High speed visuals you can see very smooth. But you can see. But for still no big change. For motion graphics, higher the refresh rate, the motion graphic quality will be high. Still image වල එහෙම ලොකු කතන්දරයක් නෑ. Still image වල refresh වුණත් නැතත් ටිකක් ලොකු වෙනසක් පේන්නේ නෑ. වීඩියෝ වල පේනවා. වීඩියෝ වල මේ refresh මේ කාත් හතර බලන්න. මේ හතර යන image එක. So let's say this is animation. අර 240 ක යන එක හරිම smooth. කැඩි කැඩි තමයි 60 එක යන්නේ. 120 average. 240 hertz, it's very smooth. So මේ ගොඩාක් slow කරලා තියෙන්නේ, right? ගොඩාක් slow කරලා මේ පෙන්නන්නේ. So higher the refreshing rate, higher the quality, and more brighter the image. Image will look more bright. Okay. Now you have an idea about the screen and its behavior. So let's move to the note. LCD, liquid crystal display. Right? When you are using a finger, you can see this LCD. So when you use your finger, you can feel the liquidness of the monitor. මේ බලන්න liquid ගතියක් පේනවා තද කරා. ඔය ගොඩාක් හයියෙන් තද කරන්න එපා. It will be damaged. So you can feel the liquidness of this when you use liquid. But the problem is the illumination is very low in this LCD displays. As it consumes very low power, so that is advantage. You can keep LCD display on for a long time with a small power. In the ගොඩාක් වෙලා තියාගන්න පුළුවන් power අඩුවෙන් consume කරන්න හැබැයි brightness අඩුයි LCD. That is the problem. But LED is better than LCD, but I cannot say it's better than CRT, but some terms. LED is lightweight, no, but CRT is, you can see CRT weight is really, so it is like 10 kg, 15 kg weight displays. But here in LED, it will be like only 1 kg, maybe even less than that. Okay, so please write down this part about monitors and also about the multimedia projectors. I'll explain the multimedia projectors after you write. Now we can start writing. Please write down from here to here. I need you to write this and remember, because this is theory lesson. So you need to work a little hard. Right, the next thing is about multimedia projectors. Now screens, the next thing is multimedia projectors. Again, 3 types: DLP, LCD, LED. DLP is digital light processing, DLP. So that is the DLP is very like kind of you can project it in the outdoor environment, right? And LCD, LED are better in dark rooms, but like DLP projectors are good for outdoor screen. In addition to that, so we have 3D projectors, hologram fan projectors, etc. That is for 3D visualization, right? So out of that, you can create this hologram projector by your own. The hologram projectors, there's one version that you can create by your own. Right? So I would like to remove this. Actually, no. Let's keep it as it is. Any projector. So these projectors are not very good for outdoor projection, right? So out of these 3, DLP is better. මේ තුනෙන් ගත්තම DLP එක outdoor වලට ටිකක් හරි හොඳයි. හැබැයි outdoor වලට projectors එච්චරම සාර්ථක නැහැ. ඒ වෙනුවට LED boards වගේ දේවල් තමයි outdoor වලට සාර්ථක. මොකද එළිය වැටෙන වෙලාවට අමාරුයි. dark නම් ප්‍රශ්නයක්. If it is dark, you can project. If it is dark, you can project. But if it is like the environment is not dark, so projection is quite difficult because it's not clear. But for this LED screens, that doesn't matter. Even in the lighting, even in the noon, you can display something in a LED screen, not in projector. Projectors are good in dark environments. Out of that, LCD, LED, you need to use in dark rooms, but in the general environment, you can use DLP. So DIY, so you can just give a try for that DIY hologram. So that is simple. I said that last day also. So this hologram projector can be created just using some transparent plastic. So you can create this kind of structure using plastic and then fold and stick together like this. You have to keep it on top of your mobile phone or screen like this. So there will be 4 previews. So these videos are there in YouTube, right? These are called hologram videos. These 4, when you visit YouTube, you can see hologram video. When you search for that, you can get these hologram videos in YouTube easily. Then you have to keep this, and there will be 4 previews created, and that will be merged, and finally it will display something like this in the space. So that is hologram projection. And hologram fan is also important thing. That is a rotating fan, and there is LED. With this fan rotation, LED is drawing some image in the screen. Not in the screen, actually, in the space, empty environment. Right? You can see that. Right. So let's move to the
make that
next part.
diamond-like hologram.
I hope you have written this part, right? Multimedia projects. Okay, let's move to the next. That is the hard copy prints. We discuss about the soft copy and hard copy prints. And when we discuss about the hard copy print, there are 2 types of printers. So one is impact printer. Impact means printer head is touching the paper. The other one is non-impact printer. Printer head is not touching the paper. When printer head touch the paper, we call impact. බලපෑමක් ඇති කරන සංඝට්ටනය ගැටීමක් සිද්ධ වෙනවා. Printer head is touching the paper. Actually, if you know about the typewriter, it is easy to understand this. So some students might have seen this typewriter. This is a bit old, and some schools still you can see the typewriter. In typewriter, there are keys. When you press these keys, there is a hammer related to each key. This hammer will go and touch a ribbon. This hammer will go and touch a ribbon inside this. Actually, ribbon is like a carbon paper. Ribbon like a carbon paper. Okay. When the hammer go and touch the paper, then this hammer, actually this ribbon will go and touch the paper. Hammer will go and touch the ribbon, and ribbon will go and touch the paper. So the letter will be embossed, or letter will be printed, displayed. It's like a carbon copy. එතකොට මේ හැම එක ගිහිල්ලා මේ මිටිය ගිහිල්ලා වදිනකොටම, so let me show these hammers. Right, you can see this is the hammer that I mean, right? මේ වගේ hammers තියෙන්නේ, මේ වගේ පොඩි පොඩි මිටි වගේ තියෙන්නේ, මේ වගේ අකුර emboss කරලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට මේක ගිහිල්ලා carbon paper එක වැදුනම carbon කොලයක් කියලා හිතන්න. එතකොට ඒකේ වැදුනම ඒක ගිහිල්ලා වදිනවා කොලේ. එතකොට අකුර ලස්සනට කොලේ සීල් වෙනවා. හැබැයි මේකේ font වෙනස් කරන්න එහෙම බෑ පුතේ. තියෙන font එකම තමයි. ඔය වගේ තමයි dot matrix වැඩ කරන්නේ. All these impact printers are working that way. Dot matrix. The dot matrix head එකේ ඒකේ මේ වගේ අකුරු නැහැ. This is customizable. Dot matrix head is customizable. You can see it's not having the letters. Instead of that, it has pins. What will happen? These pins can go in and out. These pins can move in and out. So when all pins are moving and touching, it's print something like this. මේ pin ඔක්කොම ගිහලා touch වුණොත් මේ වගේ pins ටික ඔක්කොම ගිහලා වැදුනොත් මේ pin ටික ඔක්කොම ගිහලා වැදුනොත් you can see that. But let's say මේකේ දෙවෙනි line එක අපි හිතමු මේ වෙලාවේදී මේ pins ඔක්කොම යන්නේ. මේ pins ටිකක් පස්සෙන් ඉන්නවා හතර දෙනෙක්. එක්කෙනෙක් ඉස්සරහට යනවා අනිත් හතර දෙනෙක් පස්සෙන් ඉන්නවා. එතකොට වදින්නේ මේ වගේ dot එකක්. තනි dot එකක්. මොකද එක pin එකයි ඉස්සරහට ගිහින්. So this is how. So this head is customizable. Then you can print different fonts, different styles, even small graphics, not heavy graphics, but small graphics you can print. So that is the nature of dot matrix. And there's another one that is called daisy wheel. Daisy wheel. Daisy wheel is also a kind of impact printer. There's a wheel. අර typewriter එක වගේ අකුරෙන් අකුර හැම එකක් නැහැ. එක හැම එකයි. හැබැයි මේකට දාන wheel එකක් තියෙනවා. This wheel can be changed. Wheel has all the letters. You can see wheel has all the letters and wheel can be changed. So change in font was possible with this wheel. So this is initial version of impact printer. Daisy wheel, then came the dot matrix one. Okay. You can write down this. Hard copy printouts, then just write about this part, printers. Okay. Right. Next is, so now we know about the 3 type of output devices. So, and we wrote all these things. Next is about another output device, which is speaker. Right. To output sounds in the computer, we are using speakers, earphones, headphones, tweeters, and surround sound systems, subwoofers, different or any. All these are audio devices. So, I think you know the difference between speakers. So, speakers you keep outside, and and headphones and earphones you wear it. So it is basically a convenient way of listening to a music because it's not going outside, sound is not moving outside, but you can personally hear the music or sound. Surround sound system is basically to give you the 3D feeling. So if you want to feel 3D sound, you can experience surround sound system. Onity, we were discussing about monitor, we were discussing about printer, then we were discussing about, now we are discussing about, and also we discussed projectors, and now about the sounds, these output devices basically, right, related to hardware lesson.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
I hope you joined yesterday, right?
Yes, teacher. Yes, sir.
Okay. Then, so what are these surround sound, 3D sounds? So simplest format of 3D sound is called holophonic. Holophonic. Right? You can listen this using your earphone or headphone. So that is a really simple format of sound, which is holophonic. When you like, so there is a sound called virtual barbershop under holophonics. Virtual barbershop, I recommend you to listen this. So when you listen this using earphone or headphone, you will feel like a barbershop. Somebody is moving scissor around your head. කතුරක් නිකන් වටේට අරන් යනවා වගේ වට දැනෙන්න ගනි when you listen this sound, right? So I recommend use, but don't listen this just using speakers. You have to use a headphone or earphone or earpiece.
Sir,
Yes.
so can't we make a holophonic sound?
Yeah, you can create this. You have to record that using 2 microphones, left microphone and right microphone. You have to use stereo microphone system to record the sound. Then you can create holophonic sounds, right? But you need 2 microphones. Better the higher number of, if you can get 4 microphones, 5 microphones and record, then you can get the 3D effect more accurately. So, but just using 1 microphone, it is difficult because that is not giving the feeling. But if you have multiple microphones, you can record that using multiple directions and give the feeling. In the surround sound, so 2.1 is the simplest surround system. In 2.1 sound system, it is stereo, right? 2.1 sound, it is stereo, where you have to keep left speaker, right speaker, here left speaker and the right speaker and the center speaker. That is called 2.1. So you have speakers. So don't keep all the speakers in a single line. එක පේරියට speaker තියන්නේ නැහැ, හරි? Left speaker you have to put in the left side. Right speaker you have to put in the right side, and the center speaker put in the center. Then you can listen music 3D way. That is 2.1. Then 5.1 sound system. So if you buy a 5.1 sound system, then you have to place here. This is very good example. You have to put a speaker center, another one left one, and rear left and front left, rear right and front right. Right? එතකොට speakers තියෙනවා center එකයි ඉස්සරහා වම පිටිපස්සේ වම පිටිපස්සේ දකුණ ඉස්සරහා දකුණ එතකොට subwoofer එකෙන් තමයි bass එක දෙන්නේ. ඔය ඔක්කොම ගත්තම there will be 1 2 3 4 5 speakers. With the subwoofer it will be 6. And that is 5.1 sound system, which you will get more feeling than the 2.1 sound. Then 7.1 will have side speakers too. 7.1 again debatted speaker, here you can see. So then front, left, back, so here front, left front and left back, right front, right back, and right side and left side also. And the listener need to be here. Speakers you have to place this way. I have seen some people, they are placing the system, right? 5.1 sound system or like 7.1, they are putting in a single line. Tani line එකට තියෙනවා speakers ටික. But that is here they place speakers like this. ලස්සනට පේන විදිහට මෙහෙම තනි line එකේ තියෙනවා. Or like this, but that is not a 5.1. So some people keeping speakers like this. That is not 5.1 system. That is wrong. 5.1 system, the positioning speakers is very important. Some are keeping like this. Some are මෙහෙම තියලා තියෙනවා. එහෙම නෙමෙයි තියන්න ඕන. වටේටයි තියන්න ඕන. එක ළඟ නෙමෙයි. Okay? I hope you got the idea about these sound systems. And the next thing is central processing unit and the parts of the CPU and the tasks. Again, so today I said you have to write more notes. So please write this. Please write this now. Right. CPU, central processing unit, which is similar to the brain of the computer. Right? It is similar to brain of the computer. That is the main component of your computer. So without CPU, it's dead, right? So no computer will be there without the CPU, because it carries out all the operation, it performs all the operation, it manages all the operations, it communicates, handles all the operations, it understands the machine language, and that is where the code execution happens. That is the where code understanding and communication happens. Everything is there. That is your brain. Similar to your brain. Without brain, you will not be there. So think that in most of the cases in the medical diagnosis and medical terms, once brain is dead, we consider the person as a dead person. Even other components of your body are working. When brain is not working, so your life is treated as over. So you are dead. So similar to that. So without CPU, the machine is dead. Okay, what are the components of this CPU? One of the most important, prominent, number one, main component of the CPU is ALU. ALU means arithmetic and logical unit, or sometimes we call arithmetic logic unit. What is done there? Addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, like mathematical operations, and also logical operations such as comparisons. So what are the comparisons? You are checking whether is it greater than something. So let's say there are two numbers. So you're checking whether the number is greater than or equal, not equal. So likewise, you're checking. So when a feedback is given by, okay, let's say when username, password given by a user, the comparison, it is need to check against the username and password stored in the database. You need to compare and check whether it's equal or not. Likewise, group in according to the similarities, group in according to the similar features. Sort in ascending, descending order will be done with the help of CPU. Actually, each and every task, even I right click in this computer, the process related to this will be happen inside the CPU. In order to display this menu, CPU need to be activated. If I double click selection, so this also done using the help of CPU. When I right click, when I double click, when I single click, still CPU works. When I move the mouse pointer, still the CPU works. Right? That means our CPU is on alert on each and every operation. Actually, the reason is ALU performs mathematical and logical operation, whereas CU controls everything: input, output, storage, memory, communication, whatever the thing that you are doing inside the computer will be controlled with the CPU, CU signals control unit. It is like the traffic police. CU is similar to traffic police. So what traffic police do in a junction is basically signaling others and instructing what to do. Similar task will be done by CU. CU is signaling all the components in your computer and let things happen. When input is ready, CU signal, take this input. When output is ready, CU signals, display that output. When a storage is ready, CU signals, save that. When something need to be acquired by the memory or something need to be opened, so it instruct the secondary storage, hey, open it to the memory. Likewise, it signals each and every component similar to the traffic police. And most important, it understands the CPU's language, that is called instruction set architecture, ISA. ISA is nothing, it is the language of the processor. So CU understand that language very well. So whatever the instruction given to the processor will be fetched and understood by CU. Whatever the instruction given to the CPU will be understood by CU. So he understands everything. Actually, to do the operation, you need temporary cells, temporary memory locations. For an example, think that you are adding two numbers. You want to add number 5. You want to add number 5 to number 8, and you want to store the answer. So 5 plus 8 is 13. So to do that, you need temporary locations. 5 will be kept in one memory location. 8 will be kept in another memory location. Then the addition will be the instruction. 5 plus 8 is 13. 13 will be kept in another memory location. These memory cells are called memory registers. So when CPU performs, when ALU performs an operation, when CU performs instructing, when ALU performs operation, whatever the related things will be stored until it processed inside the memory registers. Then the cache memory. So cache memory is a memory inside the processor. It is a random access memory inside the processor. Why we need a RAM inside processor? What do you think? Why it is necessary to have a random access memory inside the processor? What's the reason? Okay, to understand that, I'll give you a practical example. Let's say you want to eat bread and butter or something. So you take some slices. You take some slices into your plate. Actually, bread is a larger one, but normally we are not going to eat the entire bread unless you are too hungry. Unless you are too hungry, you are not going to eat the entire bread. Instead of that, you take some slices. කෑලි ටිකක් තමයි ගන්න. ඔක්කොම මේ කන්නේ නෑ පාන් ගෙඩිය පිටි. එහෙම බඩගින්නක් තිබ්බොත් කන්න පුළුවන්. හැබැයි නැත්තම් කන්නේ පාන් කෑලි ටිකක්. Just slices of breads. So this is like your dynamic random access memory, DRAM. So whatever you are going to eat, whatever you are going to process will be taken into the random access memory. From the random access memory, from this random access memory, the currently processing one slice you can take into your hand. That is your cache memory. Okay, you take one slice to your hand. That is your cache memory. Right? එතකොට RAM එකෙත් ඕන. RAM එක තියෙන්නේ මේ වෙලාවේ වැඩ කරන programs ටික තියාගන්න. මේ වෙලාවේ වැඩ කරන instruction. Those are stored in RAM. RAM එකේ තියෙන්නේ මේ වෙලාවේ වැඩ කරන එක. එතකොට ඒකෙන් මේ දැන් වැඩ කරන එක, මේ දැන් කන කෑල්ල, ඒක අතේ තියාගන්න. ඒක හරියට cache memory එක වගේ. It's similar to the cache memory. Right? Cache memory has 3 levels. This is similar to L3 cache. L3 cache. L3 cache is external. ඒක බාහිරින් තියෙන්නේ. අපේ ශරීරයට බාහිරින් තියෙන්නේ කියලා අපි හිතමු. හරි අපේ ශරීරයට බාහිරින් නෙමෙයි අත තියෙන එළියනේ. හරි කට ඇතුලේනේ අපි හපන්නේ. තියෙන දේවල් පාන් කෑල්ල හපන්නේ කට ඇතුලේ තියාගෙන. හැබැයි අත තියෙන එළියේ ඉඳ L3 cache එක එළියේ. එතකොට ඒ L3 cache එකෙන් අරගෙන next what will you? L3 cache, then you take a piece into your mouth and start eating. That is like your L2 cache. Making කෑල්ලක් ඉරලා කඩලා අරගෙන කට ඇතුලට දාගන්නවා. That is like your L2 cache. That is inside your mouth. L2 cache is typically inside the processor. L3 cache processor එකේම ඇතුලේ නැහැ. හැබැයි එළියේ attach වෙලා තියෙනවා. processor එකට attach, processor එක ළඟ තියෙනවා. L2 cache එක processor එක ඇතුලේ හරියට අපේ කට වගේ. දැන් මේකෙන් අපි තව චූටි චූටි කෑලි වලට කඩනවා. කඩලා saliva එක mix කරලා we will mix it with saliva and then start swallowing. Then start mixing, swallowing, chewing on everything. So that is like your L1 cache and registers. L1, then further small parts which are like between your teeth, so very small slices between your teeth, you can call them registers. හරි දැන් ඕක මතක තියාගන්න ඕන story එකක් වගේ. Right? You need to remember that as a story. Okay, just give me a second. I hope you have finished writing this, right? Just give me a
Yes,
second. Right, then about now you can understand how this memory hierarchy forms. Dynamic RAM is the random access memory. From that L3 cache, then to L2 cache, then to L1 cache. And out of this L3, L1, L2 cache, these are inside CPU. These are inside CPU. Internal buses, that is the transport mechanism. How data transport, how instruction transport inside the processor is using these buses. Okay, I think now that you have a clear idea about what is CPU and how things work inside the CPU. Next, let's think about the processor. Sorry, let's think about the memory and how memory works. So this is just simple example how things are working. So when you open Microsoft Word from the hard disk, it will be loaded to DRAM, then to the cache memory and the registers. So this is what happening. You can write the examples. And next, let's learn about the measurement units related to the speed and capacity. So quickly write down this part too. So today I said there will be a lot of notes, but don't worry, I'll be covering this. But this part without writing the note, I can't do many things because this is theory lesson. So you need to write down the note and remember these things. I also don't like these note-based things, but cannot help. Make a print out PDF එක විදිහට දෙන්නත් පුළුවන්, but that will not help you because without writing it will not go to your head. So writing is one simple activity that you can insert things to your memory. So then next time when you read, you can remember easily. That's why I asked you to write. Otherwise, don't take screenshots. You can take screenshot and cheat yourself. Screenshot එකක් ගන්නකොට ඊට වැඩි ලේසි මම මේ note එක එවන්නම් ඔයාලට PDF එක. But that is not what I need. So try to copy this down, and that will give you extra boost into your memory, right? That is the booster injection.